I love Christmas, I love DIYs, and this is my favorite time of year. I found this really fun DIY on Pinterest. So it's a wreath that hangs on your front door, but it has the J as a letter on the top and Y as a letter on the bottom with the wreath in the middle. And it's just so pretty and so beautiful, and I think you're really gonna like it. So definitely hit thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you're not already. I would appreciate that, thank you. And then definitely make sure that you leave a comment down below if there's any other DIYs that you'd like me to try. Stay tuned till the end so you can see the finished product on the door. For this project, the items you'll need are a paper plate to paint on, a 6 to 7 inch wreath, a glittery flower, a bowl to mix your paint in. My fine print there on the bottom says you should get some hairspray and a hot glue gun. White acrylic paint, 3 to 4 inch wood letters, J and a Y, some burlap ribbon, some sponge brushes, twine, and scissors. I'm going to start by spraying my flower with hairspray to kind of bring that glitter and hold it in place. When I'm using it, it doesn't fall out. I'm going to spray underneath the leaves too. Then I'm going to set it aside to dry. Next, I'm going to grab my paint. I have Christmas white and a vanilla white. I'm going to pour them into the bowl, mix them together to get the right color that I'm looking for. You don't have to use too much. It goes a long way. I do apologize for the angle. I'm really trying to figure out my camera and how to get the best angle here. So there are some pieces you're not going to see me painting or crafting, so just excuse that. Go ahead and take the paper backing off each letter, including the staple that holds it in place. Next, get your paintbrush saturated. I should say your paint sponge. It's the paint really does go a long way. It's pretty thick. It does a nice coating. I did end up having to do 2 coats of paint, so I let them dry in between as I was working on the second letter. And then make sure, for me, I did 3 sides. I didn't think there was a need to paint the back. It was just a necessary waste of paint. So go ahead and paint both your letters fully and completely, and then put them off to the side to dry. When the first layer of paint is dry, go ahead and start with the second layer. So I took the little tag off my wreath. I went ahead and started rolling out my ribbon. This is a burlap ribbon with a white lace detail on the middle of the ribbon. And I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it all the way around my wreath. I did like the way that this looked. I went ahead and overlapped each section so that you wouldn't see the wooden wreath below. And then I went ahead and took the end piece and just shoved it under the beginning piece. And that's how I tucked it away to finish off that piece. And this is what your wreath should look like. Now just go ahead and put your wreath off to the side and grab your glittery flower and put that aside. I went and grabbed E6000 glue because I thought this was the way I wanted to attach my leaves to my wreath. In the end, I chose to use a hot glue gun instead, which worked better for me, but I'll show you that soon. So take your little leaves, cut them off, rearrange them on your wreath the way you want to. I went wider leaves on the bottom and worked my way up to smaller leaves. I'm using my hot glue gun here, just applying quite a good generous amount on the back of the leaf, and then I'm going to press that down to the wreath. Just be very careful. It is a hot glue gun for a reason. It is hot. I'm patterning the leaves like left and right, and I'm putting the smaller ones on the top part and then building up and putting the bigger, larger leaves further down that side of the wreath. That way you don't see the bottom stems as you go down. After finishing with the wreath, I thought it needed a little bit more pop of color, so I had these holly berries flowers that I had from the Dollar Tree a while ago. So I just cut off some pieces and then hot glued them into place in behind some of the leaves. Now I'm grabbing my twine and I'm pulling out sections that are going to be long enough to wrap around each letter and around the wreath. This first section of twine is going to go behind the J and be the one that's going to hold the entire wreath up onto the door, depending on if that's the way you want to hang it on your door. And so I'm just getting a long enough slack to make a bow tie ribbon on the top, And then I'm going to secure the back side with a little bit of the E6000 adhesive and then a couple pieces of tape to keep that in place. Now in order to attach these pieces of twine to the wreath, I'm poking a little hole with my scissors, and then I'm going to thread the twine through those holes and then tie the letter onto the wreath. And then just cut the extra longer pieces off so all you're seeing is just a very small knot. Then go ahead and do the same for the top letter, which is the J. I will say this is the hardest piece because it is actually holding the entire weight of the wreath and the bottom letter. So make sure that when you're attaching this piece to the wreath, you use a couple pieces or a couple rounds of twine to make it a stronger hold. Then just go ahead and clip off the last pieces of twine, and that should complete your wreath. This is your final project, your final product, and how it looks. Very beautiful, very festive, small, understated. It's going to look beautiful on the front door. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you stay tuned and look at the pictures on the front door. Again, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you let me know in the comments if there's anything else you want me to try. Have a good day.